Understanding who you truly are in God, according to Norman Vincent Peale's philosophy, is not merely an exercise in self-knowledge. It is a silent revolution, a profound reshaping of your own existence. It is awakening to a universal truth that resonates in the core of your soul. You are more than your insecurities, more than your failures, more than the circumstances that surround you today. There is an innate strength, a divine capacity for overcoming and achieving pulsating within you, waiting to be recognized and activated by conscious faith. However, most of us live on the fringes of this gigantic truth. We live in a state of semi-consciousness, allowing external voices and our own internal doubts to paint a distorted picture of who we are. We look in the mirror and see the marks of weariness, the scars of disappointments, the shadows of unfulfilled expectations. We feel the weight of mediocrity, the sting of inadequacy, the constant murmur that we are not good enough, that we do not deserve abundance, peace, or complete happiness. This is not a pain that is shouted in public. It is a silent anguish, a secret companion that nests in the chest, undermining confidence and weakening the will. You feel trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, where every step towards better seems to be pulled back by an invisible current of old thought patterns, ingrained fears, and a self-image that imprisons you within a limited horizon. You seek validation in the gaze of others, in external approval, and even when you find it, the satisfaction is fleeting, because the inner emptiness remains, an echo of the voice that questions your dignity and your ability. This emotional solitude, this psychological conflict, is the starting point. It is the dark valley where the seed of transformation needs to be planted, because it is precisely at this point of questioning, of searching for something more authentic and lasting, that the real promise is revealed. I am here to guide you on a 10-chapter journey, a journey that will dismantle these limiting beliefs and ignite the light of your true identity. You will discover that your ability to change the world begins with your ability to change yourself, to realign your mind with the source of all strength and peace. We will awaken the sleeping giant within you, teaching you to see your life, your challenges, and your future through the lens of practical faith and unwavering self-confidence, the perspective of someone who truly understands that they are an extension of divinity, capable of reorganizing their inner world to transform their outer life in ways you can barely imagine today. Embrace this journey, because it is the path to your deepest freedom. The great tragedy of human life lies not in a lack of opportunities or talents, but in the self-imposed blindness that prevents us from seeing who we truly are and the vast potential that resides within us. We journey through life believing the stories others have told us, the limitations society has imposed, the marks left by the past. We swallow the narrative that we are small, insufficient, victims of a capricious destiny, and this narrative, repeated ad nauseum, becomes our reality. The life of many people is a journey through a dark valley, where the light of the true self is obscured by clouds of doubt, fear, and a false humility that is actually an impoverished self-image. You find yourself surrounded by external expectations, silent pressures to fit into molds that are not yours, and with each attempt at conformity, a piece of your essence fades away. This incessant search for external approval, for a stamp of validation that never arrives, creates a vicious cycle of disillusionment and exhaustion. The seed of illusion is planted when you accept that your identity is defined by your flaws, your difficulties, or the opinions of others. It's when you convince yourself that fear is a master and uncertainty is a guide. But I tell you, with the authority of one who understands the laws governing the mind and spirit, that this is a fabricated truth, an illusion carefully constructed by the limitations of human thought, not guided by faith. In your purest essence, you are a manifestation of divinity, a receptacle of infinite power, intelligence, and love. That is the reality. What you need is to awaken to this divine reality, remove the layers of dust that cover the mirror of your soul, and allow the light of your true being to shine. Think of the seed. It contains within itself the promise of the majestic tree, but for that promise to be fulfilled, it needs the earth, the water, the sun, and above all, unwavering belief in its purpose. You are that seed, and what is missing is the recognition of your own divine nature. Many feel overwhelmed by the sensation of not belonging, of being a stranger in their own lives, of carrying an invisible burden of inadequacy. This pain, my friend, is not a sign of weakness, but a silent call from your soul. It's your true self trying to break free from the chains of illusion, crying out to be set free. Reframing here is crucial. Your dissatisfaction is not a failure, but the first sign of an awakening. It is a symptom that your soul refuses to accept an existence less than that for which it was destined. This strange melancholy, this feeling that something essential is missing, is actually the voice of God within you whispering, "There is more, much more for you." Your soul is restless because it knows the magnitude of its potential. It refuses to settle for crumbs when it can feast in abundance. The key to your transformation lies not in changing your external circumstances, although they will change as a consequence, but in altering your self-perception. It is replacing the belief in your smallness with faith in your inherent greatness. It is recognizing that the source of all power lies within you, accessible through your mind and your active faith. When you begin to contemplate the idea that you are, in fact, a divine spark, a being endowed with unlimited capabilities, the world begins to reorganize itself around you. Problems that once seemed insurmountable begin to become relative. Doors that seemed closed reveal glimmers of light. Doubt recedes and hope emerges. This is the first step, to deeply question the story you tell yourself about who you are. The human mind is a tireless builder, and beliefs are the bricks with which it builds our world. What you believe about yourself, about others, about life, are not mere opinions. They are the solid or shifting foundations upon which your entire reality is built. If you build your inner castle with bricks of doubt, fear, and insecurity, it will be fragile, susceptible to every storm, and will tremble with every wind. Many of us, instead of being the conscious architects of our own destiny, become prisoners of the limiting beliefs we inherit, accept without question, or that were imposed by painful past experiences. You may feel that you live under a low ceiling, with walls that close in at every step, a space that prevents you from rising and expanding your horizon. This is the experience of living with a weakening belief. It reduces your field of vision, diminishes your expectations, and, cruelly of all, whispers that you deserve no more than the little you have. Norman Vincent Peale taught us that faith is not an abstract concept, but a practical force, the most powerful building tool we have. It is the foundation for an inner castle of confidence that cannot be shaken. True faith is the unreserved belief in your ability, your worth, and the divine power that sustains you. When you understand who you truly are in God, you realize that self-doubt is actually a doubt about the intelligence and power that created you. It is a denial of your divine heritage. You were born with the innate right to prosper, to be happy, to manifest good in your life. Limiting beliefs are not a flaw in you, but a negative thought, a distortion of the truth, which you have the power to challenge and replace. Consider for a moment, how many times have you sabotaged yourself because deep down you believed you weren't capable? How many opportunities were lost because the fear of failure was stronger than faith in your potential? The feeling of paralysis that often overwhelms him, the procrastination that prevents him from taking the next step. All these are symptoms of a belief system that needs to be reshaped. The vital reframing here is understanding that your struggle is not against the outside world, but against your own beliefs. Your fragility is not a character flaw, but a consequence of an inner castle poorly constructed by doubt. The good news is that you are the sole architect, and you hold the power to demolish what no longer serves you and rebuild with new materials. Your emotional pain, the feeling of not being good enough, is your spirit pleading for a new foundation. It is a call to action for you to consciously begin choosing the bricks that compose your inner reality. Every positive thought, every affirmation of faith, every mental image of success and well-being that you nurture is a brick of confidence. Visualize yourself as a builder, erecting an unshakable castle with the patience of a craftsman and the conviction of a visionary. Start with the foundation. Affirm to yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you were created for success. Repeat these truths until they become an integral part of your being. When you understand that your beliefs are the master key to your success or failure, the feeling of victimization dissipates. You are no longer a hostage to chance or circumstances. You are the master of your own perception, the sculptor of your own reality. This understanding frees you to take the reins of your mind and direct it towards building a future that reflects your true divine nature. It is a silent empowerment, but with resounding consequences. Start today to reshape your thoughts, to question each negative self-affirmation, and replace it with an empowering truth. With each brick of faith you lay, your inner castle is strengthened, and with it, your ability to face the world with unwavering confidence, knowing that you are more than enough. The words we speak aloud have the power to shape interactions, to inspire, or to wound. But there is an even more potent language, one that speaks constantly without interruption in the silent sanctuary of your mind. The inner dialogue. It is the true architect of your reality, the invisible force that defines your limits and your possibilities. For many, this inner voice is a relentless critic, a prophet of doom, a constant echo of insecurities and inadequacies. You may find yourself reliving past failures, anticipating future obstacles, and severely doubting every step you take. This corrosive murmur is not just a nuisance, it is an agent of silent destruction, undermining your capacity for action, stifling your creativity and extinguishing the flame of hope. It convinces you that you can't, that you don't deserve it, that it's not for you. This mental prison is built word by word, thought by thought. Norman Vincent Peale, with his profound wisdom, taught us that the mind needs to be trained just like a muscle. If you feed your spirit with thoughts of fear, victimhood, and doubt, you are, in fact, training your mind for failure. But if you nourish it with thoughts of faith, clarity, and responsibility, you will be directing it toward victory. The first step to understanding who you truly are in God is recognizing that you are not that negative inner voice. You are the listener, the observer, and most importantly, the programmer of that voice. It may have been installed by past experiences or external influences, but the responsibility for reprogramming it is entirely yours. This is not an easy task, especially when that voice has become an old, albeit toxic friend. It is cunning, persistent, and often disguises itself as realism or prudence. The fundamental reframing here is that your battle is not against external events, but against your interpretation of them. Your pain is not a sign of weakness, but an indication that your mental software needs an urgent update. The failures you fear so much are not necessarily impediments but feedback. Every time the inner voice tries to sabotage you, it's an opportunity to apply active faith. It's time to consciously intervene, to replace the negative phrase with a positive affirmation based on your true identity. For example, instead of, "I can never finish anything," you can affirm, "I am persistent and capable of completing everything I start, with the divine strength that guides me." This is not a blind denial of reality, but a reorientation of your mental energy. Your mind is a garden, and you are the gardener. The weeds of negative thoughts will grow effortlessly, but the flowers of hope and confidence will require constant cultivation and attention. Start monitoring your thoughts. Listen to what you say to yourself when no one else is around. This awareness is the first act of power. By becoming aware of your inner dialogue, you gain the ability to intervene. Command your mind. Don't let it command you. Use affirmations. Visualize success. Meditate on your divine nature. Practice gratitude, for it is a powerful antidote to negativity. When you begin to change the language of your inner world, the outer world begins to respond accordingly. Opportunities arise where before there were only closed doors. Peace replaces anxiety, and confidence becomes your constant companion. You will discover that understanding who you truly are in God means understanding that your mind is a sacred tool, designed to create and manifest good. Reprogramming this dialogue is your greatest responsibility and your most direct path to a life of victory and fulfillment. Do not underestimate the power of a word repeated with conviction, for it can tear down walls and build bridges to the new you. Many understand faith as an abstract feeling, a passive belief in something beyond our comprehension. It becomes a refuge for moments of despair, a whispered prayer when all other doors seem closed. But Norman Vincent Peale invites us to a much more powerful and transformative vision. Active faith. It's not just believing, but acting according to that belief. It's the concrete manifestation of your inner conviction, the bridge between your mental world and the reality you wish to build. Where does the difference lie? In action. Where is the barrier for many? in the fear of transforming that belief into action. You may glimpse your true divine nature. You may even utter positive affirmations, but if your faith doesn't translate into practical steps, it will remain a melody without melody, a seed that never sprouts. The problem is that many people find themselves paralyzed, desperately wanting change but floating in a sea of inaction. The mind, accustomed to the comfort of the known, even if painful, fiercely resists any movement that takes it out of its comfort zone. You say you have faith, but your feet remain planted in the same place. You pray for prosperity, but your actions don't reflect the abundance you crave. This disconnect between what you believe and what you do is the main saboteur of your transformation process. It's the gap between intention and manifestation, and this gap generates profound frustration, a feeling of powerlessness that feeds back into the cycle of doubt. It's the pain of knowing what you should do but feeling incapable of doing it. It's like having a map and a compass but refusing to take the first step on the journey, out of fear of the unknown or a silent disbelief in your own ability to walk the path. The fundamental reframing here is that your inaction is not a character flaw, but a sign that your faith has not yet become active. Your hesitation is the last barrier that needs to be overcome, the last vestige of the mindset that imprisoned you. The pain of stagnation, of repeating the same problems, is your spirit imploring you to take the next step. Active faith means trusting that, by taking a step in the right direction, the universe will conspire in your favor. It means understanding that the action doesn't need to be perfect or grandiose. It only needs to be a step, a movement, a decision that is aligned with your faith. If you have faith in your ability to prosper, start acting like someone who prospers. Invest your time, your energy, and your resources in what you want to manifest. If you have faith in your health, start taking care of your body and mind as a sacred temple. Practical faith is a springboard to miracles. It transforms intention into results. Every small action, every conscious decision to move forward despite fear, amplifies your faith and strengthens your spirit. It's like building a bridge over a river. Each beam placed, each plank fixed, brings you closer to the other bank. The journey is made step by step, and faith is the light that illuminates each of those steps. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are a co-creator of your reality. You are not a passive observer. Your faith, when activated by action, becomes an irresistible force, capable of moving mountains. Start today to translate your thoughts and prayers into concrete actions. Take the first step, however small. Believe in your ability to act and observe how the universe responds to your initiative. It is at the intersection of your faith and your action that the true magic of transformation happens, revealing the power that has always been at your disposal. One of the most subtle and devastating traps for peace of mind and personal growth is the belief that our happiness or success fundamentally depends on external factors. Our society, with its relentless pursuit of validation, material possessions, and the approval of others, constantly reinforces the idea that we are hostages to circumstances, the actions of others, luck, or fate. This mentality that we are victims of the waves of the sea, instead of captains of our own ship, is extremely limiting and, in fact, a denial of our true divine nature. You may feel trapped in a labyrinth where the walls are built by unemployment, turbulent relationships, lack of recognition, or economic crises. The pain here is not only that of circumstances, but also that of powerlessness. The feeling that no matter how hard you try, control is always in the hands of something or someone outside of yourself. Norman Vincent Peale, in his profound wisdom, invites us to a radical reframing. True freedom and real power do not reside in controlling the external world, an illusion that only leads to frustration, but in assuming total responsibility for our inner world. Supreme control resides within us, over our thoughts, our reactions, our attitudes, and consequently, the energy we emit and attract into our lives. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you have the innate capacity to choose your response to any situation, to reorganize your inner world, to transform your outer life. Personal responsibility is not a burden, but the greatest gift you can give yourself, for it liberates you from the condition of victim and elevates you to the position of conscious creator. Many people cling to the illusion of external control because it offers a convenient excuse for inaction and non-change. I can't be happy because my boss is harassing me. I can't prosper because the government doesn't help. My relationships are a disaster because of the other person. These phrases, repeated over and over, build a cell in which you imprison yourself, denying your own power. The pain of guilt, frustration, and resentment is your spirit signaling that you have relinquished control that is intrinsically yours. You have handed the reins of your life to something beyond yourself, instead of taking your place as the sole master of your destiny. The crucial reframing is that your difficulty is not a burden, but an invitation to mastery. Every external problem that arises is an opportunity for you to exercise your inner responsibility, to consciously choose how you will react, how you will think, how you will maintain your unwavering faith, regardless of the scenario. Taking personal responsibility means stopping the blame, stopping the complaining, and starting to ask, what can I do internally to change this? How can I change my mind, my attitude, my frequency to attract a different reality? It's not about denying the existence of external challenges, but about changing your point of power. Instead of feeling like a leaf in the wind, you become the tree that bends but doesn't break because its roots are deep in the awareness of your divinity. When you understand the truth that your happiness, your peace, and your success depend exclusively on the organization of your inner world, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your faith, you become free. You become indestructible because you realize that true strength lies within you. Start today to reclaim your power. Stop transferring responsibilities and begin to be the conscious architect of your own life. Every choice, every thought, every response is an opportunity to assert your mastery. It's not easy, but it's the path to absolute freedom. In our relentless pursuit of more, of something better, of the next conquest, we often forget the transformative power of I already have. Modern society, driven by consumption and the incessant search for novelty, conditions us to focus on what we lack, on what we haven't yet achieved, on the gaps we perceive in our lives. This scarcity mindset, even when veiled, creates a cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. You may feel compelled to chase a horizon that is always one step ahead, and in the process, you devalue the ground you walk on, the beauties that surround you, the blessings that already embrace you. The pain here is not that of actual deprivation, but of the inability to perceive the abundance already present, a blindness to the river of grace that constantly flows in your life, even in moments of greatest adversity. This lack of conscious gratitude drains your energy, steals your joy, and keeps you trapped in a state of need. Norman Vincent Peale taught us that gratitude is not merely an act of politeness or a kind sentiment. It is a magnetic force, a universal principle that attracts more than what is appreciated. It is the seedbed where abundance flourishes. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are an intrinsically worthy being of all that is good, and that the most direct way to manifest this goodness is through a grateful heart. Gratitude is the recognition of divine goodness already at work in your life, a testament of faith in the Creator's constant provision. It is the language of the Spirit that speaks directly to the abundance of the universe. Where have you focused your attention? On your needs or on your blessings? Your answer to this question is the starting point for transformation. Many people complain about what they lack but rarely stop to be grateful for what they have. They wait for things to improve before being grateful, reversing the natural order of the universe. The crucial reframing is that gratitude is not a consequence of abundance, but its cause. Don't wait to have more to be grateful. Be grateful for what you have, and the more will come. Your current pain, the feeling of not having enough, is an invitation to change your focus, to realign your perception with a state of mind that attracts abundance. The mind is like a fertile field. What you plant, it cultivates. If you plant seeds of complaint and dissatisfaction, you will harvest a garden of scarcity. But if you plant seeds of gratitude and appreciation, you will harvest an orchard of fullness. Being grateful doesn't mean ignoring problems, but rather approaching them from a place of strength and conviction, knowing that you are cared for and supported. Start practicing active gratitude today. Every morning, before even getting out of bed, mentally list 5 things you are grateful for. It could be your comfortable bed, the roof over your head, your physical health, the presence of a loved one, or even the air you breathe. At night, before going to sleep, do the same exercise, reviewing the day and finding more reasons to be grateful. Make gratitude a habit, a daily discipline. You will notice that by doing this, your state of mind will elevate, your perspective will change, and almost magically, more things to be grateful for will begin to appear in your life. Gratitude is the gateway to manifestation. It reconnects you with your true nature, with the inexhaustible source of all good things. By being grateful, you affirm your faith in divine provision and open the floodgates to a constant flow of abundance in all areas of your life. This field of gratitude is your secret garden, where you cultivate the reality you truly desire. Life in its essence is a complex tapestry of light and shadow, of moments of joy and challenges that present themselves as insurmountable mountains. No one is immune to storms. Losses, failures, disappointments, and setbacks are inevitable companions on the human journey. For many, these adversities are perceived as punishments, as signs of incompetence, or as insurmountable barriers that prevent them from achieving their goals. There is a deep pain in this, the feeling of being crushed by circumstances, of not having the strength to get up after a fall, of seeing hope dissipate before a persistent obstacle. You may feel that the world is conspiring against you, that doors are closing in your path, and that with each attempt at progress, a new challenge pulls you back. This is the experience of fragility, of powerlessness, of the soul that bends under the weight of trials. However, Norman Vincent Peale offers us a radically different perspective. Adversity is not a blockage, but a catalyst. It is not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but an opportunity for you to exercise and strengthen your spiritual resilience. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that, even in the greatest falls, there is an intrinsic wisdom, a greater purpose working for your good. Your inner divinity does not abandon you in the storm. It invites you to discover a strength you didn't even know you possessed. Resilience is not just the ability to recover, but to become stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to your essence after each challenge. The crucial reframing here is that your challenges are not punishments, but stepping stones. Every failure, every loss, every moment of despair is an opportunity to strengthen your character, deepen your faith, and reveal a dimension of yourself that can only be discovered under pressure. Think of trees growing on rocky slopes. Their roots deepen, their fibers become denser, their structure turns toward the light with a tenacity that trees in fertile soil rarely possess. Similarly, your soul finds its true strength in adversity. The pain of failure, the feeling of helplessness, is not an enemy but a rigorous teacher pushing you toward mastery. Spiritual resilience requires unwavering faith, not in the absence of problems, but in your ability to overcome them with divine help. It means that even when the outside world seems to crumble, you maintain the clarity that your inner self is indestructible. It's the conviction that you have infinite resources to face anything. Instead of lamenting the doors that close, start looking for the windows that open or build a new door with the strength you discovered in adversity. Practice accepting the circumstances you cannot change and focus your energy on those you can influence, starting with your attitude and your faith. When you understand that every obstacle is an invitation to growth, you become invulnerable to external fluctuations. You develop an inner peace that transcends understanding, a calmness that allows you to navigate turbulent waters with the certainty that you will reach your destination. Your spiritual resilience is not a shield that protects you from all pain, but an armor that enables you to endure and emerge victorious. It is living proof that your divine essence is unbreakable. Start today to see your challenges in a new light, not as ends but as means, not as falls but as leaps. This is the key to transforming every adversity into a stepping stone to your true and higher self. Most people live their lives reacting to events, allowing external circumstances to dictate their emotional states and outcomes. The mind, without clear direction, wanders, reliving the past or anticipating the worst in the future. This lack of conscious purpose in the imagination is one of the greatest barriers to achievement. You may feel adrift without a map, in an ocean of overwhelming possibilities, or worse, without any. The pain here is not necessarily from tangible scarcity, but from an absence of vision, a blurred future, an inability to clearly see what you truly desire. This mental fog generates frustration and prevents creative energy from flowing freely, keeping you trapped in a cycle of inaction and dissatisfaction. Norman Vincent Peale taught us that the mind is the greatest creative laboratory we possess. And creative visualization is its most powerful tool. It's not passive daydreaming, but rather the intentional and disciplined use of imagination to create, with rich sensory detail, the reality you wish to manifest. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are a co-creator, endowed with a divine capacity to shape your own reality through thought and faith. Your mind is not merely a receiver of information, it is a projector, and what it projects with conviction and emotion tends to manifest. Many people underestimate the power of visualization, or confuse it with a mystical exercise without practical basis. They allow their minds to be taken over by images of fear, scarcity, and failure, and without realizing it, they are visualizing negatively all the time. The crucial reframing is that your lack of clarity or your pessimistic view of the future are not innate flaws but trainable mental habits. Your pain, the feeling of being directionless, is a sign that your imagination is out of control, needing to be directed with purpose and faith. Creative visualization is the act of planting clear and vibrant seeds in the fertile soil of your mind. It is the act of pre-living your desired reality, of feeling the emotions, of experiencing the details, of infusing each image with the energy of faith. To practice creative visualization effectively, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Breathe deeply, relax your body, and calm your mind. Then, begin to mentally construct the scene of your ideal life. What do you see? Where are you? Who are the people with you? What are you doing? How do you feel? Include all your senses. What you hear, what you smell, what you touch, what you like. Feel the joy, the gratitude, and the certainty that this reality already exists in potential. Do this daily, with consistency and conviction. Visualization doesn't replace action, but it precedes and inspires it. It aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, removing resistance and opening paths that previously seemed invisible. When you begin to paint your future with the ink of your mind, you activate a universal principle of attraction. Your energy shifts, your decisions become more aligned, and opportunities begin to appear in your life in ways you couldn't plan. You become a magnet for what you visualize and believe. Understanding your truth in God means recognizing that you have the power to co-create your reality. Your mind is a divine gift, and creative visualization is the way to use it to build a life of purpose, joy, and abundance. Stop reacting to life and start actively creating it. Embrace your ability to dream with your eyes open and faith in your heart, for that is how miracles are manifested. We all carry invisible baggage, an accumulation of regrets, past failures, mistakes made, and the inner voices that accuse and condemn us. This emotional burden from the past is an unnecessary weight that prevents us from fully moving forward in the present and embracing a future of possibilities. Often your greatest prison is not external, but internal. The inability to forgive yourself, to release the shackles of guilt and relentless self-criticism. You may feel that you are perpetually indebted to yourself, or that you are not worthy of happiness because of past stumbles. The pain here is that of self-condemnation, a corrosive feeling of unworthiness that sabotages your attempts at progress and keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage and low self-esteem. This inability to forgive yourself is one of the greatest obstacles on the path to understanding who you truly are in God. Norman Vincent Peale taught us that forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is not an act of weakness but of profound strength and wisdom. It is the liberating mechanism that allows us to detach from the past and make way for the new. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that, as a divine expression, you are inherently good and deserving of love and forgiveness. Your past failings do not define your essence. They are experiences, lessons learned, and not permanent labels on your soul. God does not condemn you for your mistakes. He invites you to rise, to learn, and to begin again, always with a sincere heart. To deny yourself forgiveness is to deny yourself the very grace you seek from the divine. Many people confuse self-forgiveness with irresponsibility or denial of their mistakes. They believe that to learn, they need to carry the weight of guilt, which is a profound illusion. The crucial reframing is that your guilt is not a sign of superior morality, but an obstacle to your growth. The pain of incessant self-criticism is not a learning mechanism, but a cycle of self-destruction. To truly learn and grow, you need to free yourself from the weight of the past. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting or justifying what happened, but rather accepting that you did the best you could with what you knew, recognizing the lesson, and deciding to move forward with a new perspective and a light heart. It means understanding that your value is not diminished by your imperfections. To practice self-forgiveness, begin by acknowledging the areas where you feel guilty or ashamed. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but don't drown in them. Then with your hand on your heart, say to yourself, I forgive myself for any mistake or failure. I recognize that I am human, that I have learned from this experience, and I choose to let go and move forward with love and wisdom. Repeat this affirmation with conviction. Remember that God in His infinite mercy forgives. If the Creator forgives you, why would you deny yourself that same grace? The past serves only as a reference, as a teacher, never as a prison. When you forgive yourself, an immense burden is lifted from your shoulders. The energy that was once trapped in regret and guilt is released to be used in building a brighter present and future. You begin to see yourself with eyes of compassion and love, strengthening your self-esteem and confidence. Understanding who you truly are in God means embracing your capacity for renewal, for each day to be a new beginning. Releasing the past is the most liberating act you can do for yourself. It is the path to peace and fulfillment, allowing you to reclaim your true identity as a being of light and love, always evolving and always forgiven. We have reached the culmination of our journey, where the pillars of faith, conscious thought, and personal responsibility unite to reveal your divine purpose and how to fully manifest it in the world. After deconstructing the illusion of your insignificance, rebuilding the castle of trust, reprogramming your inner dialogue, activating your faith in action, assuming responsibility, cultivating gratitude, strengthening your resilience, and designing your future, the question remains, how does all this translate into a life lived with meaning and impact? Many of us, even after a path of self-discovery, still struggle to find a greater sense of purpose, a reason for our existence that transcends the everyday. The absence of a clear purpose can leave a void, a feeling that something essential is missing, even when all other areas of life seem to be in order. This is the ultimate pain, the pain of the soul that yearns for meaning, for a unique contribution that only it can offer to the universe. Norman Vincent Peale, with his inspiring vision, shows us that our purpose is not something we need to find externally, but rather something we need to reveal from within. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you were created with a specific purpose, a unique combination of talents, passions, and experiences that empower you to make a singular difference in the world. Your purpose is an extension of your divine nature, a loving service you render to humanity and to the Creator Himself, manifesting good in its highest form. It is the point of convergence between your greatest talent and the greatest need of the world around you. The ultimate illusion is believing that your purpose is something grand and unattainable, or that you need a dramatic epiphany to discover it. The crucial reframing is that your purpose is intrinsically linked to your deepest passion, to what you would do even if you weren't paid, to what makes you feel most alive and aligned. The pain of lacking purpose isn't a sign that you don't have one, but that you haven't yet recognized it or consciously integrated it into your actions. Your soul yearns to express its truth, and when you refuse to heed that call, you feel empty and fragmented. Manifesting your true self in the world is your greatest contribution. To manifest your divine purpose, begin by paying attention to what inspires you, what angers you, and moves you to action. What makes you lose track of time? What are your natural gifts? Where do you feel most useful, most vibrant? Don't wait for perfection or all the answers at once. Discovering your purpose is a process, a journey of layers that reveal themselves as you move forward with your heart and your faith. Start small, in your circle of influence. Be the person who radiates positivity in your work environment, the one who listens with compassion, the one who offers a word of encouragement. Be aware that every action, however simple it may seem, when done with intention and alignment with your divine nature, contributes to the manifestation of your greater purpose. When you begin to live from your purpose even gradually, your life gains new meaning, a clear direction, and an inexhaustible source of energy. Joy, peace, and fulfillment become your constant companions because you are aligned with your essence. Understanding who you truly are in God is understanding that your existence is a gift, an opportunity to be a channel for the divine, to radiate light and love to the world. Your life becomes not only a journey of self-fulfillment, but a continuous contribution to the greater good. I conclude this journey with the certainty that the transformation you sought externally already resides, fully and absolutely, within you, waiting only to be activated by conscious faith, positive thinking, and inspired action. Go and manifest your greatness.